Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Rome Business Radio. I'm Roger Manus. We are broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios at the Rome News Tribune in downtown Rome. And welcome to Rome Business Radio, where we celebrate the businesses of Rome and Northwest Georgia. We got a great show for you today. We are joined by Stephanie Scearce, the VP of Economic Development at Georgia Northwestern Technical College. How are you doing, Stephanie?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Great. Thanks for being here. We're also joined by Greg and Leigh Kosater of Interim Healthcare. How are you guys doing?
Doing very well today. Thank you for having us.
So, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Did you want to chime in there, Greg?
No, I just wanted to say thank you for having us also.
So, like-minded people, married, right?
Correct.
Married in Rome, Georgia, actually, at St. Mary's Church 37 years ago.
Well, congratulations. So, Stephanie, where are you from?
So I'm originally from Blue Ridge, Georgia.
Okay.
Currently living in Cartersville, but I travel all over Northwest Georgia. So I'm definitely a mountain girl and love Rome as well.
Yeah, I would imagine you travel all over the place representing GNTC. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about what you do there as Vice President of Economic Development. What does that mean?
Oh, gosh, I'm going to try to keep that to a short time frame. So
take your time. It's a podcast. We got all day.
So with the technical college, we have the credit side of the school, and then we have the non-credit side. And simply what that means with the credit programs, we have our technical certificates of credit, our diplomas, and our degrees. And so that's state mandated curriculum that's taught on all of our 6 campuses that serve our 9 counties in Northwest Georgia. So, that's institutionally developed curriculum approved by the state. And so that's curriculum that cannot be manipulated, that, has to occur over semesters, certain time frame, et cetera. So through my department, we offer non-credit training, and what that means, we partner with companies in the region. We partner with individuals that need specific training to where we can customize curriculum. We can maybe take some of our certificates or diplomas and degrees and maybe take from that objectives or components and tailor that training to meet specific needs of companies directly through contract training, or develop some open enrollment courses through our continuing education programs to cater to individuals specifically that want to upskill themselves.
So literally, you can work with a business to customize a coursework load, curriculum,
absolutely,
to create graduates that would fit that need of that business.
Yeah, we can do that. We really always promote our credit side of the school first, because why recreate the wheel?
Right.
But there are times when, companies have a certain time frame, or they need training to take place on their company site, or what have you. They have a specific need that where our credit programs may not be the best fit. So through economic development, we come in, we try to tailor a solution. So that's kind of how we help fill a gap, if you will. And in addition to that, our credit program really and truly is what provides the graduates. We can come in and we can help companies' existing employees, upskill them to maybe they get promoted within, or we can also help, maybe folks that are displaced or out of work due to no fault of their own, or maybe we can work with high school graduates that have no plans for post-secondary, or really the sky's the limit. We really just try to listen to what the need is out there, partner with other various state agencies or nonprofit organizations, and just develop programs that really help cater to special populations.
A lot of options.
Oh,
Sounds
yeah.
like a lot
it's
of
a lot
options.
of fun.
Yeah.
It's really creative.
Okay. Switching gears here. Interim Healthcare, Greg and Leigh Kosater. Who's the spokesperson here?
I'll try and be.
Just tell us it is a little bit about what you do, the core services at Interim Healthcare.
Well, just to kind of give you a background, Interim Healthcare has been in existence in the nation since 1966. It's the oldest home care company in the nation. Greg and I have moved back to Rome in the past couple of years, and we have opened a franchise here in Northwest Georgia to service mainly seniors who want to stay in their homes for whatever reason. Maybe they are not as independent as they used to be, and maybe they need some additional help, maybe with things from bathing, grooming, transportation, any services to help daily living skills to be successful and stay in their home.
So it's not healthcare. It's not medical. It's helping them live normal lives, helping people do that.
We do have nurses on staff,
okay,
as well as caregivers who are certified CNAs or PCAs through the state of Georgia. And all of our caregivers are supervised by our nurses. Our services, we don't provide skilled services such as physical therapy, occupational therapy, those services. But essentially our goal is whether someone is in a home that they've been in for 50 years, maybe they've moved to a continuing care facility, or maybe they've moved in with a relative, but they are not as independent as they used to be, then those are the type of services that we would provide for them.
Greg, what is y'all's background?
Great question. So I'm actually a registered pharmacist who've been in the healthcare industry for about 40 years. Leigh is a speech-language pathologist and mostly has worked with pediatric populations and early childhood populations, but she's had a lot of experience through geriatrics. We both had family experiences with home care services. Some of it was good, some of it was bad. So we really had a commitment and dedication when we moved back to Rome that we wanted to help the community. And we think most seniors are happier when they're in their own home as opposed to going to a facility. But we also work with patients that are in facilities, assisted living facilities. We work with hospice organizations because sometimes those organizations, they don't have the opportunity to provide some of the services that we provide. So we try to be more all-inclusive and work collaboratively with other healthcare organizations.
So is this a calling?
I think it is. I do. Excuse me. My background has been primarily in pediatrics, but I spent a tremendous amount of time coordinating different programs, helping parents problem solve how they could receive assistance or get the appropriate services for their children. But now as we've gotten older and we see the need with the older population, it's the same type situation. How do you problem solve? We are finding with our work that we're doing now, there's so many people that aren't aware of what services are out there. Not just our services, but home health care services, hospice services. And so our goal is to provide very good, appropriate caregiving services to our clients, but also if they need other services, we'd like to be that organization that would help them find those other services as well.
She mentioned problem solving, Stephanie. It sounds like that's a lot. It's a different industry, obviously, but that's what a core of what you do every day would be.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
In what ways? Can you expand upon that a little bit?
Oh, yeah. We offer. We have flexible offerings, and it's so funny. I hear problem solving a lot. A lot of companies, we get a lot of requests for leadership training, employability skills training, and problem solving, critical thinking and problem solving, creative problem solving is a request we get a lot of. So we'll offer that training, for frontline supervisors that are going from peer to leader transition, or if you will. But you hit the nail on the head where there's this awareness component, because we too feel that as well, where a lot of employers or simply citizens are not aware of what opportunities are available to them in the form of training, in the form of resources. And our role, we feel, it's incumbent upon us to just get out there and make ourselves known. Are you aware of what the technical college can provide? And are you aware of what incentives are available? And, we're still combating the misconception of what technical education is in this day and age.
Well, let me interject there. You mentioned the credit curriculum earlier, and you just mentioned misconceptions. Give me some specifics. What are we training people in at GNTC?
Oh man. So, we have our industrial systems technology programs, our welding programs. And it's just not technical education. It's, manufacturing in general, healthcare in general. It's just, and really I can only speak from manufacturing, the industrial trades, if you will, because that's really all that my career's been in. Mm-hmm. But it's not smokestacks and it's not dirty jobs anymore. It is high tech positions that are paying extremely well because these,
ching, ching, ching.
Yes, these jobs are so high in demand and they're having such a difficult time filling them because graduates aren't equipped with the foundational skill sets to fill these entry-level positions anymore. And so through our programs like our industrial systems technology, industrial maintenance positions, welders are in so high in demand, just right when they graduate. I mean, employers now are coming to speak to our students in classes and, showing them where to apply for positions even before they graduate. A lot of times we get asked from communities and employers, how many students are you graduating a year? Well, it's kind of hard to say because employers are picking them out that we have so many exit points within our technical college because, when they get their certificates, employers get them. Right away. Wow. We want them to pursue their diploma and degree. That would be great. But man, when they get that certificate, employers snatch them up right away. And we want them to pursue their education and so forth, and employers will pay to do that. But I mean, when you really lay out all the resources and when you look at Hope and Hope career grants that are available that can essentially offset 100% of your tuition costs, an individual, male or female, could graduate with an associate degree with little to no debt and making a minimum of $50,000 a year starting out, and their employer probably pay to have them go get their 4-year degree. I'm like, man, I wish I would have known this whenever I was entering into the workplace.
Well, we're going to come back around to how you got through your college. Later in the show.
I'm very thankful how I did.
Scholarship, athlete. There's your hint. What size workforce do you guys have over Interim Healthcare? Is it the two of you plus?
We have our lovely office manager, Tanya Murphy, who she very much keeps us in line, and then we do have nurses, and as I said, we have caregivers, and essentially. The target market that we're looking at right now is the immediate Rome area. Floyd County, Polk County, Gordon County, and Chattooga County are the areas that we're targeting right now. But our territory actually runs all the way to the Tennessee line. So pretty much from Whitfield County, west of 75 all the way to Tennessee. So we are looking for caregivers up in the north, truly in the Northwest Georgia area. We hope to expand. We are being very cautious as far as who we do hire. Mm-hmm. All of our caregivers are background checked, drug screened. They all go through mandatory orientation. We also we're very proud to be part of Interim Healthcare because since they've been in business for so long, they have a tremendous amount of opportunity for continuing education with our caregivers. We have what's called Interim Learning University, and part of that is a wonderful program based upon Teepa Snow, who is a wonderful Alzheimer dementia expert, and all of our continuing ed programs in the Alzheimer dementia area are based on her positive approach to dementia. And so we encourage all of our caregivers to participate in that. And that's, so we're really proud to have that opportunity for our caregivers.
Greg, one of the things you guys said you bought this franchise. When was it again? I'm sorry.
So this past fall.
Okay. So part of any business is marketing it to let people know who you are, what you do. What have been the biggest challenges there, Greg, for you guys as you have gotten this franchise and getting it up and going?
Yeah, there's some really great companies in, the Floyd County area that provide similar services that we provide. So that's one of the key things that we've had to do is differentiate ourselves between our competitors. And we really feel that we're part of the community and what we're really doing. We're taking, we're advertising with local papers, we're advertising on the local radio stations, but most importantly, we're working with organizations such as the Alzheimer's and Dementia Group. The Alzheimer's Walk, I'll give a shout out to them. The Rome Walk is November 7th this year, so we're actually one of the corporate sponsors for the Alzheimer's Walk. We're also looking for other organizations. We're going out and visiting with nursing homes, assisted living facilities. We're meeting with hospices. We've met with some of the other facilities in town just to let them know. So Leigh and I have really spent a lot of time working with the local communities. There's an organization, the Business Niche, and then there's also the
Senior Promo Council.
The Senior Promo Council, which is a group of like-minded individuals that want to work in furthering the educational status of what's going on in Floyd County from a senior perspective. So we're looking to work with all of these organizations. And to be honest with you, it's time-consuming, and that's why we have a good office manager that takes care of Leigh's schedule and my schedule so that we can go out and do this. I mean, this is the third appointment we've had this morning. We're so grateful to be here, but this gets our message out about what we're doing and how we're trying to do it. But we really want to be a steward of the community. That's important to us. We moved back this community a little over 2 years ago because we wanted to be part of this community, because we think this community is a great community.
And you're both born here, right?
Leigh was born here.
I was born and raised here.
Okay. And then met at the University of Georgia?
We did.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
And you were there during the Herschel years. So you saw a national championship. And
I'm still waiting on the next national championship, hopefully this year.
I was going to say, we've said that for years, but I am with you. Let's not wait too much longer. Speaking of college athletics, we're going to get off topic here. Stephanie, you were a scholarship basketball player at Kennesaw State. Is that correct?
Yes.
Just tell me about that experience.
Oh, man. Well, I actually first started playing basketball when I was in second grade. Mm-hmm. And I can remember, actually remember my father enrolling me in it. And I just wanted to play because my cousins were enrolled in sports and I felt left out and I wanted to just enroll in something. So I remember my father driving me back home, and he looked back and he said, "Now, Stephanie," he said, "now you can't quit in the middle of the season. If you don't like it, you can stop playing after the season, but you just got to stick it out." Okay. And I thought, man, I hope I really do like this, and ended up playing till my senior year in college. So yeah, I played all the way through high school, in Fannin County, and then went on a full ride to Kennesaw State. Actually had verbally committed to Auburn University my junior year in high school, but tore my ACL, and I was more of a second line string recruit. So I was damaged to goods. So then ended up going to Kennesaw, and then actually was only able to play 2 of my 4 years there because I ended up tearing my ACL 2 more times.
Wow.
While I was there. So, actually still technically have a year of eligibility left.
Still got the jump shot?
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm pretty sure my skills have been passed on to another, because it's been a decade since I've last played. So, but it was fun.
What skill set did you learn playing team sports that translates into your work life every day?
Oh man, I've learned so much has transferred over. And I know this is kind of vague, but just the aspect of teamwork, like literally you can't do it all yourself, especially, in managing a department. I'm relatively a new supervisor, and, you cannot do everything yourself. You have to rely on other people to do their job. And so I relate to basketball so much, especially in regards to defense, especially a zone defense. I mean, when you drop down to cover the defender over here, if the other teammate doesn't drop down to fill your spot, I mean, the whole thing falls apart, right? Or if you're doing a full court press and you don't, cover your spot and the individual doesn't help drop down, I mean, it just doesn't work. And so,
Greg and Leigh, are y'all following this?
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
So, I mean, it just, really, and building people up, knowing how to, recognize other people's strengths, and then also recognize others' weaknesses, and knowing your weaknesses too, and your limitations, and being able to ebb and flow with that. And so just carrying over that teamwork has really helped me so much in the workplace. And, because I will be honest with you, playing sports in high school and in college is very different. It's not necessarily fun in college. It's a job.
Right.
And so you learn time management skills.
It's demanding hours.
It's demanding.
Yeah.
I mean, there are expectations. And so that was really helpful on entering the workplace, because it was sort of the same expectations, if you don't do well, then, because there's no such thing as a 4-year scholarship.
That's correct. Yeah.
They
renew them every year.
Every year.
That's right.
So if you don't meet the expectations, or if you don't do well on your performance review, then.
Well, welcome to the real world. So yes, it does translate, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
What do people not know about Georgia Northwestern Technical College that they should know? Like where your campus is. You mentioned various places and things like that. Educate me.
Oh yeah. Well, so we have 6 campuses. They're located in Ringgold, Rock Spring, Dalton, Rockmart, and Calhoun. Okay. I'm so glad I named all these. Am I living one? Rome.
Rome,
gosh,
of course.
Right there, Rome, of course. And we approximately have 6,400 students across all campuses.
Okay.
So fairly large. I think one thing people may not realize about Georgia Northwestern is it's such a servant-oriented technical college. Like, it really gives back to the community through food banks. It just really serves its students. And just the faculty and the staff are just awesome. It's a big family too. And I've just really been blown away just by, just what all the technical college does for its students. It really does. I mean, all the unknowns, what you get to see behind the closed doors.
That's very nice. She mentioned the fact how they're connected to the community, and you guys had touched on that earlier as part of what you want to do as part of your business growth.
I have to admit, just sitting here listening to you, and especially the non-certified part of your description, I'd love to talk to you as far as
I was just thinking we can exchange business cards, because we want to start up a CNA program, a non-credit CNA program,
I would love to
here
talk.
in Rome. Yes.
Welcome to Rome Business Radio, where deals get done.
Yes.
Just sitting here listening to you, and I thought, oh my gosh, I got to make sure before you leave that
Yes,
we
ma'am.
do definitely need to talk.
Well, that was actually very heartwarming for me to hear, because part of what Business Radio wants to do, we want to help businesses grow by connecting people, which is why we do these shows where we bring in different types of businesses, because y'all did not know each other. It's a cocktail mixer without the cocktails, because we just want people to connect and share their stories. Now I'm on my podium about what it is we're trying to do here, but for everybody to grow their businesses by connecting, and who knows, maybe y'all will do business with each other. And
Definitely.
I'm very excited. Yeah.
that's a good thing to know. Let's talk about Rome a little bit. Since you were born and raised, and y'all are now starting your business here, how have you been received by the Rome business community? Are there headaches with getting businesses started, or is everything going great? Is it word of mouth that you're trying to get out to let people know? Just talk about the business aspect of getting started here.
I actually think it's been fairly easy.
Okay.
I think everybody's been very welcoming. Everybody's curious, to be honest with you. Kosater may be my last name, but it wasn't my maiden name. So no one knows me, because we got married 37 years ago. I left Rome, came back. So it's been interesting to reconnect with people that I haven't seen in so long, and then introduce my husband, Greg. And it's a lot of curiosity, but very easy. People are just very curious as to what is it that we're up to. And Rome's been very welcoming.
Yeah.
Very welcoming.
Great little town, isn't it?
Oh, it very is.
And I will say that, working with local officials, going to get business licenses and things like that. It's so nice to be able to walk out of our office at 501 Broad Street and walk down the street to get a license or to get a parking permit or things like that. And this is what we wanted when we came back to Rome. So we were living in Gwinnett County before this, and you can imagine doing business in Gwinnett County. I love Gwinnett County, but the fact of the matter, trying to get a business license in Gwinnett County or any of the other licenses that we have was a complicated process. You come to Rome, Georgia, you walk down the street, walk into the office and say, hey, I'm here to pay for my business license this year, and everybody's glad to see you. So it's a very welcoming community, and that's one of the decisions. I mean, we made a conscious decision to come back to Rome, Georgia.
Great. I'm running into the same thing. My name is Roger Manus, and I have cousins through here, and my dad has been here forever, but I'm reconnecting as we've launched the podcast here at Rome Business Radio X here at the Rome News Tribune, the Hardy Realty Studios. I'm reconnecting with people as well, which is interesting. I haven't had your situation with my last name changing.
Right.
And sometimes I have to tell people now, because I'm a Manus, do you want to pat me on the back or shoot me in the back? Because
well, and I have to admit, when you said your last name, I went, I wonder if I know you.
you might know a relative and we could talk off the air. Stephanie, in your job, you cross paths with businesses all the time.
Yes.
But you haven't been doing this too long for GNTC, right? When did you start at GNTC?
I started November 2018.
Okay. So, about a year and a half. Is that right? Am I doing the math correctly? So, what has been your impression of the Georgia business community as you have been out there building relationships, of the Northwest Georgia business community as you've been?
I've actually been working with businesses in Northwest Georgia for about 4 or 5 years.
Okay. So prior to
coming to this position, because I was with the Georgia Department of Economic Development prior to this position, which I had 15 counties I was responsible for.
Okay.
So going to 9 has been a kind of a breather. So worked solely with existing industry. So I was in Rome quite a bit too in that role, working with a lot of the manufacturers in Rome. But the manufacturers, are so impressive, the companies in this area too, always in expansion mode. Again, that awareness factor, they were always wanting to make sure they were taking advantage of low hanging fruit, and so what I appreciated about the companies in the area, and especially in Rome, is they always wanted to make sure they were aware of opportunity before it was too late. Especially in regards to, in my previous role, especially in regards into like state tax credits or incentives, because a lot of times when you've created so many jobs or you've made capital investments already, it's too late to take advantage of certain incentives.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And now with GNTC, I feel like my relationship with companies in Rome and even in Northwest Georgia, it's more intimate because now we're talking about workforce development issues that are going to always be a constant battle, if you will, or always going to be a need. And so I feel like the relationship's just going even deeper, and we're staying in constant contact now. As we just launched new non-credit programs, technical training programs based on industry need. They needed more technical skill programs, so we launched basic electrical, basic motor controls, and basic PLC to try to fit their time frame and to try to help upskill their existing workforce. And so, again, it's about that partnership. What do you need? We'll try to provide a solution. And so it's that communication has always been so important, and business and industry in this area has always been really good about communicating back with us.
Yeah, that's the general consensus we get. It's a great business working environment with each other. Contact information. How can people learn more about GNTC, or specifically if they need to reach out to you to connect in your skill set to help their business grow? Where can we drive people? Website, phone numbers, emails, whatever? Yep.
Our website's www.gntc.edu. And of course, we work closely too with the chambers and development authorities, especially here in Rome-Floyd County. Missy Kendrick, who is the executive director of the Rome-Floyd Development Authority, I work closely with her. You can find me through her as well. But especially on our website, you can go there, and we have our economic development webpage.
And any final thoughts that you want to get out about GNTC here as we just reach out?
Just give us a call. At the end of the day, we are going to find a solution no matter what the need is. If it's not through us, we are going to put you in touch with somebody that can. Okay, great. All right, Kosaters, contact information or any final thoughts that you want to make sure we get out there today?
Well, contact information. Our website is www.interimhealthcare, that is INTERIM healthcare.com/RomeGA. Or 706-622-5602. We're here to help.
And I would encourage you to visit our Facebook page. If you go to our website, you can click on one of the icons for social media in our Facebook page. I traditionally try 3 or 4 days a week, try to put up an article that is about senior care. We've done a lot with coronavirus right now about not to panic, things along those lines, but great healthcare topics concerning seniors specifically. So that's a great site. Site's been up for about a month now. Kind of proud of it and looking forward to people, following us via social media.
Fantastic. Thank y'all all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. It's been an interesting show. You've been listening to Rome Business Radio, coming to you from the Hardy Realty Studios at the Rome News Tribune in downtown Rome. We'll talk to you guys next time.